Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's setup is just a little bit different. I am behind the camera because I am sharing with you guys my makeup collection and storage. Now I actually am going to be doing a little bit of a declutter throughout this video as well. But for my collection, I do not have a lot of space in my house. I live in a very small house. So I decided to custom build a desk that I can put my makeup in and on top of. And it's just basically a single desk with a single little shelf. Now I'm going to zoom in and show you guys my collection. So first I'm going to start off with my eyeshadow palettes. I keep a majority of my eyeshadow palettes in these organizers on top of my acrylic drawer sets. Now I do have some palettes in a few of my acrylic drawers and I will show you them when I get to them. But I'm just going to do a quick run through of my eyeshadow palettes and show you what I have. I do have a more detailed video of all my palettes up on YouTube right now showing my entire collection. But I have since acquired a few palettes since posting that video. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown and show you what I got. I have the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. I have the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson Conspiracy palette. The Morphe Jeffree Star palette. The original Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. She has since come out with her second palette, but also they reformulated and repackaged this first original palette. And actually I have heard that the formula is not the same and does not compare to this first original formula, which I absolutely love this palette and this formula. I also have the James Charles the Big palette. I have a few of my Anastasia shadows over here. I have my Alyssa Edwards palette along with my Subculture palette over here. I also keep my makeup brushes on top. In this first little bin, I have some tweezers and my eye brushes. And then in this little cup holder to the back, I have my face brushes. I also have this little organizer right here. And in it, I have my Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, which is a new addition. I have my Huda Beauty New Nude. I have my Natasha Denona Biba palette. I have my Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1. I also recently just got the Jawbreaker palette from Jeffree Star. I absolutely love it. It is extremely, extremely colorful, and I have any bright color I would ever need. I also have my new Bloodlust palette. I keep it stored in the cardboard because I find that the little knob on the actual packaging of the palette, it's really hard to stand the product up. So I keep it stored in its actual cardboard component and it sits really nicely behind everything. I also have my Pat McGrath Mothership 5, the Bronze Seduction. I have the majority of my Anastasia shadows over here. We have Jackie Aina, Riviera, Carly Bible, Norvina. I actually recently just added the Amrezy palette to my collection, and I have to say, this might beat out my Jackie Aina for my favorite palette. Like, this might have to be my favorite Anastasia palette for sure. I was not expecting to like this palette, but I have really, really been enjoying it, its color story, and its quality. I also have Soft Glam. And then Modern Renaissance and Prism. I also have my Urban Decay palettes over here, my Naked palettes. I have the Naked Cherry, the Naked Smoky. I also have the Naked Honey and the Naked Heat. Also on top, I keep my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray that's perfectly up here. And then also in the side of my little tiered storage for my palettes. I also have my Urban Decay All-Nighter. So I'm going to get into the clear acrylic drawer set. I'm actually going to put a link down below from where I got these. I got these on Amazon. So in case you're looking for something similar, I will put a link so you can find them as well. In this first top left drawer, I have some of my foundations. I have my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless, my beloved Too Faced Born This Way. This is probably one of my absolute favorite foundations. I am really loving the Charlotte Tilbury one. I have the NARS Sheer Glow. I really like this foundation. I have the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And then actually I have this NARS All Day Weightless Luminous Foundation. And I actually am going to get rid of this foundation. I don't wear it a lot. It is a little bit older. It is one of the first NARS foundations I bought, but I don't like how liquidy it is. It does have decent coverage. I just hate how runny it is. I find it's just really hard for me to work with, and I'm going to get rid of this. I also have my Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation, and then my Makeup Forever HD. I really, really like this. This is more so my summer shade right now. Below that, I have my primers. I have my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, which is my absolute favorite one. I have my Fenty Beauty. This is the matte one. I have my Milk Hydro Grip. I actually have a smaller one over here. I like to take that when I travel. I have my Benefit Professional, which I absolutely love. This is probably actually, I would say, my third tube of this. I have loved this for a very long time, and it was my favorite pore filling primer till I started using the Tatcha, and then even, you know, the Tarte Smooth Slate, is that what it's called? Tarte Clean Slate. I started using that one as well, and I sort of kind of moved away from using my Benefit Professional, but I love it, and I've gone through a million of these. I have my Photo Finish by Smashbox. I have this NARS pore filter one. This one's a little bit older in my collection. I'm going to get rid of it. It has a strong skincare smell to it, so I don't really like that about it. It is also older, so I think I should get rid of it. I also have the Bare Minerals Primetime Brightening. It's a very slippy primer, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I really like how the foundation really does work well on it, even though it is a little bit slipperier. And I love how it is brightening. It has like these little flecks of shimmer in them. It just really makes your skin look dewy. I'm also going to get rid of this little Makeup Forever Step 1 primer. This is a smoothing primer, so it's going to be like your pore filling primers, but I find I don't really like it. I had a full size of this along with this little one, and I have since gotten rid of the full size one, but I decided to keep the small one around to keep trying it, but I think I'm finally going to get rid of it. I also, this is an old one. I don't know why I've kept it, maybe because the packaging is cute, but this is the Benefit Stay Flawless 15-Hour Primer. It is a stick primer, and, you know, it was hard to work with. It's really goopy, really tacky. I didn't really like it, but you had to work in sections, and I think I just kept it around because it was cute and it was different than anything I had, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this as well. I have this little, it came with a set. It's the Tarte Stay Spray. I guess this is their setting spray. I don't really use it. I also don't really like it, and left my skin feeling extremely tacky. So I'm going to get rid of this little spray. I also have, let's see if I can get to it, the Too Faced Hangover RX. This is a little mini travel size. I have actually had the full size of it, and I've gotten rid of it. And I kept the small one around to keep trying it, and I still don't like it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this as well. Next are my face powders. I have my favorite, my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder in the shade Butter. I also have my Laura Mercier Translucent. I love that. You guys haven't seen me talk about it, but this is Kylie's loose powder. This is her translucent shade, and I actually really like this powder. The translucent shade actually has a little bit of a yellow tint, so I actually really enjoy using this powder for setting my under eyes. It is very nice. I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but I actually like it. This is one product I know I'm going to get rid of. This is the Too Faced Peach Blur powder. It's a translucent smoothing powder. It's a little too, if you want that luminous glow on your skin, it's a good one. but I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm not a fan of it, and I don't really reach for it or use it. I have my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. I actually love this powder. I know a lot of people don't buy MAC products anymore. They have sort of kind of declined as more brands have sort of kind of been innovative and becoming the forerunners of makeup, but I actually really like this powder. It's a nice natural powder, and it's actually the only powder I have that has color. So if I need to make my shades a little bit darker, this is about half a shade darker than my actual skin tone, I like to use this. I have the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed. I absolutely love this powder, especially for setting my T-zone. It really blurs your pores and your lines on your skin. And then also I have the Marc Jacobs Translucent Powder. I actually really like this one as well. It is a stark white in the pan, but it does not come off white on your skin, but is very finely milled, and I actually like that for setting my under eyes. So next is the first of my 2 blush drawers. I have the NARS Fire Clay blush. I actually bought this probably a year to year and a half ago. It's limited edition. I've actually seen that people have been finding this at TJ Maxx now, but I bought mine years ago. I do like it. It has the 3 different shades in it, but when you mix them together, they look really nice. I have my NARS blushes. I have Deep Throat. I have Madly and Orgasm. And I really like all them. Orgasm's probably my most used blush currently right now. I have a few Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. I have Blushing Bride. And I also have Party. It's a little beat up from being in a makeup bag, but it's a nudie pink, and I really like this. And then my Unsung Heroes of blushes. I don't think people talk about Kylie blushes enough, but I absolutely love her blushes. I have Rosy and Baddie on the Block. And then I have one of the Tarte Love Flush blushes. This is in Love Hangover, and it's a nice corally pink. I really like that one as well. It is very pigmented. These are, I believe, discontinued, but I got mine a while back. And then I have my second drawer of blushes. Back here I have a NARS Narcissist blush palette. I believe this is the Wanted One palette. I absolutely love NARS blushes, and the fact that I was able to get this palette with all these colors in it, I really love it. And I love this nudie blush color. It is really great. And this bright color over here, oh my gosh, its name is Chaos, and it is so pigmented and so bright. You need a light hand. And I just really love this palette because it has all the colors that I don't already have in singles. I have MAC Harmony blush. I actually find MAC blushes still hold up to all other blushes, even though, like I said, most people don't buy a lot of MAC anymore. And this is Mocha. I love that. It is the perfect warm pink color. And then Warm Soul has to be one of my favorite. I love mineralized blushes, especially MAC, because they have a nice natural shimmer in them. They're not glittery at all. And I actually find that when I use this, I don't really have to highlight very much. This one I'm going to get rid of. This is a Too Faced cream blush and Peach My Cheeks. And I really like the color of it, but this is a little old. I think it's time to get rid of it. It's probably about a year old. And you know, cream products don't last as long. It does perform still fairly well, but I don't wear a lot of cream products, and I do actually have one cream blush that I absolutely love more than this, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I also have a Becca Mineral Blush. This is probably the brightest blush I own. You have to go a very light hand. Oh my goodness, but it is very beautiful when you blend it out. It's the perfect rosy pink color. I have a few Benefit blushes. I have the full size of the Rockateur. I have had this for a while, and I cannot part. It is just, it's a little old, but it still works very well. It is that perfect mauve-y brown color, and I absolutely love it. It is the first high-end blush I ever bought behind MAC Warm Soul, and I absolutely love it, and will always use this blush. And then I have the tiny version of the California. And I have a little brush in it. It's a bright, bright coral. I don't have any other colors that are like this except for that one in the NARS palette, but I absolutely love this. I actually find that Benefits, the mini blushes, are almost a better value because it is so hard to go through a blush. So I find that getting the mini ones, I'm able to go through it a whole lot quicker than the large ones, because I've been working on that Rockateur for 2 years now and there's still a lot in it. And then the only cream blush I'm going to keep is by Lime Crime. It is in Gigabyte BB. And it is the perfect pinky mauvey nude. And I really like the formula of this. It does dry to a powder. And I really like this. And I'm going to keep this as well. Then I have my bronzer drawer. I have my Soleil Tan de Chanel. I absolutely love this cream bronzer. I love putting it first after my foundation and then setting with a powdered bronzer. I find I get the most beautiful bronze look and it lasts all day when I use it that way. I also have the Too Faced Sweetie Pie bronzer, and I actually don't use it as a bronzer, but I keep it in my bronzer drawer. I use it as a blush. It, for me, pulls a little too peachy pink to be a bronzer, and it is way too shimmery. I don't like a lot of shimmery bronzers, and so I use this mainly as a blush. And then I have my Kylie bronzer. I absolutely love these Kylie powder bronzers. Mine is in the shade Toasty, and it is the perfect bronzer shade. It's a little more on the cooler side than warm, and I think it looks really, really well on my skin, and it is a buildable bronzer. The pigmentation is not necessarily there, but it is really, really beautiful when you build it up. I rather have a bronzer that is a little less pigmented and I can build it up than have one that when I just lay it down on my face, it's too much. So I absolutely love this bronzer. I also have NARS Laguna, but this is the Sunwash Diffused Bronzer. So it's not the original shimmery one. It's a little bit more on the matte side. It is also a little less pigmented, but I really like it. You do have to build this up though. I also have my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. This is in the medium deep, and I absolutely love this. This is probably my favorite bronzer behind my Kylie Toasted. Mine's a little cracked. This is also in the older packaging. They have since come out with newer packaging, but you know, powder products you can keep for, so we're kind of past the date. Every product has a little date stamp on it, but powder products do last a little bit longer. I have my Benefit Hoola. I used to love this. This was the first high-end bronzer when I ever first started using bronzer. I do find that right now it's still a little bit too orange for me, but during the summer it is my favorite bronzer. And then I am actually going to get rid of this big Too Faced bronzer. It is the Natural Lust bronzer. It is very shimmery, very sparkly, and actually this shade of the bronzer shade it's not very flattering. It is actually oranger than the pan is showing, and no matter if you mix them together, it just does not work well for me. Even the highlighter shade does not work well at all. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that as well. So now we're on to my little second stack of drawers, and in the top of this one I have more foundations. I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of my MAC Studio Stitch Fix Fluids. This was my go-to foundation in high school. I don't really reach for them anymore. I have more full coverage foundations that I like more than these, but these were my tried and true, and I have continuously repurchased this throughout the years. I have NC15 and NC20. I mix these together and I have the most perfect shade, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. And then I have the Too Faced Dew You Full Coverage. It is a dewy, glowy foundation, and if I want a really dewy look, I go for this foundation. I actually really like it. Now, I will say the scent's a little bit too strong. And then I have my Tarte Found Sealer. This is actually in my summer shade, but I absolutely love this foundation. I get a really dewy look with this as well. And then this is the OG Dior Forever foundation. This is in the old packaging. It is my summer shade. It's still okay. I probably should be tossing it out fairly soon, but I haven't repurchased the new formula, and probably when I repurchase the new formula, I will eventually get rid of it. But it was the most expensive thing I had ever bought for a very long time, and I absolutely love that foundation, so it's really hard for me to part with it. Next are my concealers. I have the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This was my all-time favorite concealer for a long while, and I absolutely love it and still use it. Mine's in the shade Custard. And then I have the new Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I really, really like that concealer. It is a full coverage, but it is not as full coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape and the Benefit Boing concealers. I really like these if I want a good full coverage concealer. And then also, this is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. It is my only sort of kind of creamy concealer. Well, not really my only one. I do have another set of cream concealers, but I actually really, really like this, especially if I want to clean up around my brows or I need more fuller coverage on my face for spot concealing. Then I have this big bad baby. This is the Bobbi Brown BBU Pro Face Palette. And what it has is it has every single Bobbi Brown concealer along with her correctors, and I find that I absolutely love this because I can find any shade any time of the year that I really, really need. And sometimes I do need correctors for underneath my eyes. I do have fairly big under eye circles and veins. And then also it comes with every shade of the stick foundations as well, and I like to use sometimes these darker shades, especially this one, for cream bronzer and cream contour. I really do like these, and the foundations as well, especially during the winter when my skin's a little bit more dry. I like these creamy stick foundations. Next is my highlighter drawer. I have the liquid illuminator. This is in Copacabana. I really like this if I want a nice dewy highlighter and I don't want to use a powder one. I also like to mix a tiny bit of this into my foundation, just sort of kind of make any of my foundations luminous or dewy. I have my Jeffree Star Skin Frost and Peach Goddess. A couple videos back you saw where I had broke it. I have since repressed it and it still works very, very well. And I do find I might have pressed it wrong. It's not as good pigmentation as it originally was, but it still is really amazing. Fenty Kilowatt Duo and Mean Money and Hustler Baby. I absolutely love these. And of course, my Anastasia I'm Reezy. Actually, I have one loose highlighter. This is MAC Silver Dusk. It is a very, very shimmery highlighter, and I do like this if I want something dramatic. I will actually put this on top of Am Reezy to make it even more, because this is more glittery, but I actually like this as a shadow topper if I want a really glittery look. Becca Champagne Pop. Mine's a little broke. I need to repress that. And then this is, what is this? Lilac Geode. It's a more pinky one. I find that if I do a really dramatic pink look, I really like the pink shift of this highlighter. And this is from Pretty Vulgar. This is one of their highlighters, the Shimmering Swan highlighter. And I'm actually going to get rid of this. I find it's like a lighter version of Peach Goddess. And then actually if I mix both of these sides in the duo together of the Fenty, I find that I sort of kind of get the shade. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. And it's not my favorite formula. Then I have this little mini Tarte and Stunner. I really, really like this. It's the perfect champagne-y nude. I really, really like this one, so I'm going to keep that. But I am going to get rid of the Too Faced Candlelight Glow. It's older. Yeah, powders, can last a while, but I think I'm going to get rid of this. I don't really reach for it anymore. Next is my brow drawer. I have Benefit and Anastasia in here. I have two Benefit Goof Proof brows, one in the shade 3 and one in the shade 4. I'm going to keep shade 4. I really like the warmthness of this. This is shade 3 and it's a little bit too cool toned for me. So I'm going to get rid of that and keep shade 4. And most of my Benefit products I have in shade 4. I have Precisely My Brow. I have my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I have Benefit's Brow Gel, the 24-hour brow setter. I have 3D brow tones, which if you've never heard of this, it is actually an amazing product. It is more of like a shimmery shade, and what it does is it actually adds like highlights to your brow, and it makes it look more natural. I really, really like this if I'm trying to do a very like special brow. Then I have my Anastasia Brow Gel, and then I have the Benefit Ka-Brow, which is their brow pomade, along with the Gimme Brow. If I don't want to do a strong brow, I'll just run this through my brows and tame them down a little bit, and it'll add a little bit more coverage and fill them in just a little bit. And then, of course, my Anastasia Dip Brow in Chocolate. I absolutely love this brow pomade. Keep some tweezers, not tweezers, some short little scissors for either cutting lashes or trimming my long brow hairs, along with a little spoolie as well. And my velour lash glue. I absolutely love the color of it. I think that's why I love it more, but also my lashes stay on forever when I use it. I find it beat out my duo glue, but I have the duo in dark as well. This is my mascara and liner drawer. I don't keep a lot of full-size mascaras because mascaras can go bad quickly, but I'm trying to get through my roller lash, Benefit roller lash. I'm almost done with that. My absolute two favorite mascaras of all time are Bad Gal Bang by Benefit and then the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. This is in the waterproof version. But I do keep a lot of mini mascaras. I'm actually going to get rid of one of these Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. I like it, but I'm probably not going to repurchase it anymore, so I'm just going to keep one of them to finish. I'm also going to get rid of this Lancome lash primer. I find that I don't really use it, and it doesn't really do too much for me. And then I have the Tarte Man-Eater. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I'm trying to use it up. It's a little mini one. I don't really like the brush on it. It's very short, stubby. And I find my lashes don't perform well when I use it. And actually, one of my all-time favorites is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I have gone through probably 3 or 4 full-sized, and, you know, I absolutely love it. I just haven't repurchased it because I have 3 full-size that I'm trying to get through right now, along with these little mini ones. But I've gone through, like, 4 of the big ones, and this is probably my 3rd. This is my last of my little minis that I've gotten in sets over the years. So I'm probably going to repurchase the full size of this one when I'm done with the Benefit Roller Lash. Then for liquid eyeliners, I have my Tarte Man-Eater. I have the big one and the mini one. This is my favorite liner. I like taking the mini one when I travel. I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of this Too Faced one. It is a little sketch marker. I don't really like it. It's very, very runny, and it doesn't really last very well, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. The other black liquid liner I have is the NYX. That's the point. This is the very, very, very pointy tipped, very, very, very small tipped eyeliner. Let me compare it to the Man-Eater. It's a huge, huge, huge difference in the tip. So I really, really like this one. I want a very fine, small brow. Pencil liners. I don't use a lot of pencil liners except for on my lower lash line. I like Demolition as the dark matte black. I'm going to keep that one from Urban Decay. I'm going to get rid of this Rockstar one. It is a purple shade, but it is extremely, extremely old and is well past its life. I have a few Marc Jacobs ones. I have a full size of the blue one. It is the most perfect blue, and it really complements brown eyes. And I have the mini black one. I like those as well. They're very creamy. They're gel pencil liners. I have this NYX Glide-On pencil. It's in green, and I really like that. I have the Stila Stay All Day smudge stick. I'm going to get rid of that. It's in a blue, but I really like the Marc Jacobs blue better. And then I have a few Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes. I'm actually going to get rid of the brown and the black. They have dried up on me. But I didn't really like the brown and the black of these as much as I like the Urban Decay and the Marc Jacobs one. And then I'm going to keep the little Champagne Pearl one. This is really nice in the waterline when you have a darker eye. Just really brightens up your eyes. And then this olive drab green. I really like this as well. Oh, and then I also have a Stila Smudge Pot. I should probably get rid of this. It's still extremely creamy. It's not dried up, but I don't use a lot of brown gel eyeliner, so I'm going to get rid of this because it's old and it probably should be thrown out. But one that I do keep, and I've gone through a million of, this is MAC Black Track Fluid Line. This is, I'm honestly saying, this is probably my 5th one. It is my favorite gel eyeliner. I don't use gel eyeliners as much anymore. I would say the first 4 that I went through was early in my high school days in college, but I like liquid eyeliners more now, but I still use this a lot, and I will probably continue to keep purchasing this. Then I also have a little Urban Decay Grindhouse sharpener. And then the last drawer in this stack is my single shadows, liquid shadows, glitters, and bases. I have a few ColourPop singles. I really like my ColourPop ones. They're mostly neutrals. I really like the formula, but one I know I'm going to get rid of, this is in the shade Truth. It is just a plain neutral shadow, and I have so many shades like this, so I'm going to keep my gold one, my more like maroon brown, and this one's a champagne with purple glitter, and I absolutely love that, and I'm going to keep that. I have a few Smashbox singles. This is Cinnamon. This is probably one of my all-time favorite lid shades, along with another one that I'm going to show you, but Cinnamon is one of my favorite. It's a nice little bronzy neutral shade, and it's beautiful on the lids. I'm going to get rid of this shade. This is Hang. It actually comes off more like slate gray when you swatch it, so I'm actually going to get rid of that. I don't really like it or use it very much. And then I have Vintage, which is a plummy brown. I really like this shade as well. Then I have a few MAC shadows. I'm not going to get rid of them. These are some of my original shadows I've ever bought, and they still perform very well. This is All That Glitters. This is one of my all-time favorite shadows. This is actually the second one I've gone through, and I don't know if I'll repurchase it. I do have shadows that are like this, but this is one of my OG favorites. And then Sweet Heat. This is the other shade I was saying is my favorite lid shade. Absolutely love this. It is the perfect champagne for the eyelids. And then I have a few other Sable, Espresso, and I think this is Soft Brown. Just some staple singles that I like to keep. I have the these are the Stila, not Anastasia. These are the Stila Shimmer and Glue liquid shadows. I actually really like these. They really stay well on the eye, and I just find that if I do one of these and then a shimmery shadow on top, it's just beautiful. And then also these are really good for just one shadow sweep over the eyes. P. Louise Makeup Base, my all-time favorite eyeshadow primer. I also have the Anastasia one. I really like this because it is almost stark white, so it really makes, if you want a really bold eyeshadow look, this is a really great base for that. Then Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I have a few little NYX glitter glues. I'm going to get rid of this little shadow. It is a Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes paint. They don't make these anymore, but this is a little sample that I got in like a 500 point perk from Sephora. But I'm going to get rid of this. It's old. It's pretty, but it's very similar to my Stila Kitten. I have a few glitters from Anastasia. I have a few glitter stacks from NYX from a holiday collection, but those don't really go bad. And I just recently got from the Frozen collection from ColourPop. This is Waterfall. It's a jelly glitter, and I really like this, so I'm going to keep that as well. So now we're on to my last tier of drawers. I have my liquid lipsticks and glosses in here. I have my Kylie lips, my Kylie liquid lips, my Anastasia, one from Too Faced, a Tarte one, NYX lips lingerie, and a Dose of Colors one. This is the Desi and Katie special edition, little Sephora sample one that I actually really love that color. I have a few glosses over here. I like the MAC Dazzle glasses for a very shimmery gloss. I also have the Kylie Clear Gloss. I actually really like this, but I'm excited because I'm actually planning on getting the Fenty ones. I heard they're really good, so I'm gonna get those. I have one from Bite Beauty, one from the ColourPop Frozen collection, and this is a bright coral one from Buxom, but I find it really works really well with nudes, and it's not too corally. I have this one from Kat Von D, Underage Red. I'm actually going to get rid of it because I do have my Mary Jo K from Kylie, and I have a few other red lipsticks, but this one's a little old, so I'm going to get rid of it. Mermaid Tears from Too Faced. I'm going to keep that as a very beautiful lip topper, and then I have a little stick from NARS and Dragon Girl. It's a little chubby stick. And then I keep my lip liners in the back. I can get to them. I have Kat Von D. This is in the shade Saint. I actually don't use this as a lip liner. This is so creamy that I apply it all over my lip as a lipstick. It is a perfect coral pink. I don't really like it as a lip liner because I don't really have any lipsticks that go with it. I have a nude one from NARS, and my Kylie's are my favorite. I have Candy K as the lid pops off. I have Candy K, Mary Jo K, and then this is from the Ulta Holiday Collection in Coconut. Then I have my tube lipsticks. I don't use these too much. I have my YSL. It's the most expensive one I have, and I like it, but I don't like how glossy it is. I do like more matte lipsticks and adding gloss. I have my Fenty Mademoiselles. These are my all-time favorite lipsticks. I absolutely love these so much. I really want every single shade. Then I have a few MAC lipsticks that I've collected over the years. My first one was Jubilee. It is a neutral sheer pinky nude. As the first one I ever bought. I do like these. I do use these fairly regularly. I have a few limited edition ones right here. I have one of the Too Faced peach ones and a few Anastasia. All three of these I'm going to get rid of. I have one from Stila. It's actually a red, but I really love my Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle one in red, and Madam, which is the red one. I'm going to get rid of this one. And then this is a Too Faced one. I really love this one. I remember when these came out so many years ago, but this is old. This is the perfect pinky red, but it's so old I should get rid of it. And then I have Naughty Nude, and I really love this nude, but it's old. It's time to go. Also these Makeup Forever ones. I really like these. These are their matte ones, but I don't even think they make these anymore. These are the Rouge Artist, but I'm gonna get rid of these. I have a pink one and a nude one, but they're really great and they still perform well, but they're old. They're good 3 to 4 years old, so I should get rid of them. I have a few from Bite Beauty. These are some bright fuchsias and bright pinks. I really like them. I have the one from the ColourPop Frozen collection. I have that one. And I have one from Urban Decay, one of their Vice lipsticks. And then I have this little one from NARS I'm going to get rid of. It's just a nude and Rose Cliff, but it's older as well. It came in a little set, but I'm going to get rid of it. And then I have a NARS palette with some bright purples and plums and dark colors. And then under that, I just have a miscellaneous drawer. I keep Neutrogena Hydro Boost wipes. I don't use a lot of makeup remover wipes actually, except for to take off face makeup because they're really rough on the eyes. I got this in the birthday set, the Brazilian Bum Bum cream and the Coca Cabana cream. Keep these in here. I like them to moisturize my hands. I also have MAC Fix Plus, which I actually use to wet my eyeshadows. Sometimes I'll use the Morphe or the Urban Decay, but mainly I'll use MAC Fix Plus. I also have my eyelash curler. And then I have a few beauty sponges. I have my beauty blender along with the Morphe Jeffree Star ones. I need to clean them and my makeup brushes, which is coming up soon. Here I have lashes and some palettes. I really like the Ardell Faux Mink ones in 812. They're some of my favorites. I also have the Ardell Demi Wispies. I also recently have been loving the Ardell Naked Lashes. I've used all of those, so I don't have any to show you, but I really like them. I have a pure lash set. These are my most dramatic lashes. And actually, since I don't really have a good storage system, I actually keep my used lashes below that. If not in the container, but I tend to throw my plastics away, so I store them down there. I have my Anastasia Glow Kit. And I have the Hyper Glow one from MAC. And this is in the more pinky toned one. And then in the last two, I have my eyeshadow, some more smaller eyeshadows. I have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill ones. I actually have decided I'm going to get rid of these since I have the big palette. I find that I have these shades in other palettes, and actually, I never ever noticed this, but these two shades, Top Secret and Hand Potion, are very similar. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to depot Top Secret. It's a little bit more bolder and stands out and is a little more pigmented than Potion, but I really want to try to depot that color along with Busted as well. So I'm going to try to depot those so I can keep at least those two shades, but get rid of the rest of the palettes because I don't use them. And like I said, I decluttered the other two a long time ago. Then, I have my two Kylies, my two ColourPop Frozen ones, Juvia's Place Warrior, Too Faced Peachy Matte, the regular peach one, extra spicy, Urban Decay Naked 3. It didn't fit up with the rest of my Urban Decay. And then my little Huda Beauty ones, and then my random ones, my random Anastasia contour kit and singles, and then an old Urban Decay palette. Alright, so this is everything that I'm getting rid of out of my collection. I'm actually very happy with that. I do regularly get rid of things that I do not like, but some of these things I've just been holding on to for way too long, and they've surpassed other declutters. So I'm excited to get rid of these and open up some space in my collection for more items. All right, everyone, so that is my makeup collection and storage with some decluttering going on. I actually got rid of more products than I thought I was, so I'm very proud of that. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I have in my collection, and if you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button down below so you can keep up with all my future videos. I hope everyone is keeping well and safe during this time, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.